I'm going to show you 3 ways to make $5,000 whenever you need to. And I'm also going to show you how to get a $10,000 product from me for free. So stick around for that. 3 ways to make 5K. Before we get into it, let me show you just briefly what I've been up to so you can understand the last few months here. Okay. I made $77,000 from one low ticket school group. You probably heard about school. I helped a nonprofit make $16,000. Look here if you haven't started looking at the screen. I helped a nonprofit make $16,000 in 7 days. I received a plaque from Stan Store, which is I'm going to show you about here, for reaching $100,000 in 90 days. They give you a plaque when you reach 100K. I did that in 90 days. And then I also won Alex Hormozy's affiliate contest. I'll be going to his headquarters in a few weeks here. I came in at number 15 out of 22,000 participants. The top 50 are winners, and I'm 15, right? So that's just some of the stuff. There's been more that I didn't list here, but I want you to understand that I know how to make money. And I know, more importantly, how to teach you to do the same. This is what I do every day. I wake up every day excited about this. And so we are going to get into it. I'm going to show you. Now, that $10,000 product for entrepreneurs, let me know in the comments if you want to know how to get that. Just say, I am ready, or I want to know how to get that, etc. Let me know in the comments. And make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Okay, the first way we're going to make 5K, it's actually, we're going to think about, there are 3 ways. You can combine these ways, like do a little bit of each, do 2 of them, or just hone in on one of them and go for it. Now, there's different reasons you'd want to do those different ways. But if you hone in on one, you're probably going to get there faster, right? So I can't guarantee that you'll make any money. I can't guarantee that. It has to be what you put into it. But I'm showing you exactly the steps, okay? And you can, that's the strategy I want you to think about is, do I want to mix and match, or do I want to just do one, get really good at it, go over and over and over and over, rinse and repeat? So the very first one we're going to talk about are one-on-one calls. $97 is a good price point for you. It's worked for me and worked for hundreds of my students. I have thousands of students that I teach right now in my memberships, and hundreds of them have tried this. Um, it's a $97 price point. For some reason, it has psychologically works for people. It seems less expensive than 100. Under 100 is that like impromptu, I can make like an impromptu decision. It's not a lot of risk. And if you think about the psychology, the risk of someone, oh, what if this doesn't work? What if they don't even show up to the call for the person buying it? What if they don't help me? Under $100 works. And at the same time, you don't want it too low because you know, $20 or something, because you also want it to add up. So the $97 call. Another thing that's really great about this is I've had people who are students, and I've done this myself, of course, but I've had students when they go into these $97 calls, they actually learn more about the customer and vice versa. And it ends up being a discovery call that could have been free, right? It could have cost nothing. Um, but they are actually getting paid to have a conversation. And maybe, let's say, 1 out of 3 times, they realize, oh, this particular person could use this other thing that I have. They could go into a paid membership, or they could go into one-on-one calls with me over several weeks, or they could use this big course that I have, or this product, and it can turn into that. It's not that you're going into it like that, where you're like, I'm going to sell them something and that's what this is, because they paid for a service. You're going to give them value, 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 over deliver. But then on those calls, this is kind of that strategy that makes people a lot of money. Is we even had someone go in. We've had a couple of these recently where someone went in on a $97 call. They got a $6,000 lead, and then did that multiple times. I've seen even more than that. And I've seen it where it's like $1,000 or something. And then what you could do is these other 2 things that I'm going to show you how to do, you could actually use this call for that. So again, you're not going into the call. Make sure you understand you're not going into the call ready to sell. because you've already sold to them, but you're going into the call ready to help. And if that means that they could use something else that you have, you're going to offer that to them. And I think they'd appreciate it. In my experience, people have appreciated that. The next one is a digital product, like a mini course or a PDF, even an audio. I wouldn't recommend an audio starting out. I would recommend either something that is like a template or prompts. Like I have a prompt shop that I sell different AI prompts that I have like meticulously worked on. And that's really cool. I don't think a lot of people are there yet. I don't think a lot of people realize what they're missing out on with these prompts because everybody's going to need prompts. You're probably using prompts today, ChatGPT or any other myriad of AI platforms, but it's actually like a really big talent to know how to write the right prompts and how to get the right prompts. And so if you can kind of like cut out even more time for somebody because we're in this world of, oh, I need it to be shorter, I need it to be easier, then you could actually sell the words. So that's what I do. I have an entire prompt shop that does that. It's arlansprompt.shop if you're interested in looking at it just to see as an example. So digital product can be that. It can also be like this mini course that you do. You could like record for an hour or two, cut up the pieces into like 10 to 20-minute videos and have like 6 to 10 modules or lessons. Maybe you have 3 modules to kind of set up the situation, the problem, explain what the problem is, your insights on the problem, get into like a great solution like that is super helpful for somebody, and then end it with what do you do next? How do you apply this into the world? And then each of those 3 modules have 3 or 4 lessons to them, right? Maybe they're 30 minutes per module. And you could sell that for $10, for $97, for $100. You could sell it for 300, right? You could sell it for more. But if you're just starting out, and that's what we're talking about here, if you're just starting out, you want it to be a lower amount, even though the value is super, super, super high. Because you want it to be something that a lot of people buy. So a lot of people understand who you are and how great you are at teaching them. And then they'll buy your other products from that. You'll have them on your email list because they become a customer of yours, and you can talk to them over time with email because that's really that long tail is really where the real money comes from. So think about that through all of these 3. It's not just about what can I make from them that moment. It's about actually, can I get them on my email list as a customer? Can I over deliver for them, whether that's one-on-one with calls or they're watching me on a course or something like that? And then over time, can I talk through them? The third one you're going to think about is a VIP day. Now, you may have heard about these before, you may have even attended one, but a VIP day is essentially when someone like me or someone like you gives several hours of their time for one person. Usually it's one person. Sometimes it can be a group, a small group. One person gets 5, 6, 8 hours of your time. And maybe you have a meal or 2 meals together. You could start off having breakfast together, talking about their business, talking about their hobby, whatever your lane is, whatever you teach, talking about trading, talking about bowling, whatever the thing is that you teach. And then you go into some tactical stuff. Maybe you go over to a co-working space or go over to, stay at the restaurant or go to your, home office or wherever you are, and you walk them through for a couple of hours. It's very tactical now that you have like the basis of it, and you ask them questions. And then maybe you have them go off to lunch, or you go to lunch with them and you have more conversation, or have them go off to lunch. And while they're at lunch, you're eating, but you're writing out some tactical things that they can actually do now that you have all that downloaded. And then you meet back up about an hour and 30 minutes later, and you give them the solution. You will work with them on the solution. Now, another way of doing this is to have it all be about uploading and getting all the information that you need. And then you come back to them in 5 to 7 days with a big blueprint, something that they can print out, or something you printed for them that's like 20, 50, 100 pages that you just hand over to them. That's another way to do it. And people are willing, they're about 10%, write the word 10%, 10%, write that down in the comments right now, especially if you're feeling this. There are 10% or so of your audience, whether you have an audience now or you're going to build one, and I'll talk to you about both, of your audience who would do that. So take away all the limiting beliefs of, oh, nobody's going to pay me $1,000 for a VIP day. Nobody's going to pay me $2,000, $5,000. There are 10% of the people who see you who would. And if you, and that's a proven thing out there in the world, right? So if that's the case, then it's now your job to say, okay, let me make the offer so that 1 in 10 people at least has the opportunity to say yes to that. That's where we're just going to throw that limiting belief of nobody would pay for that out the window. Over and over again. Let me show you this again in case you missed it. Take a look at this. Made $77,000 from a low ticket, like a $9 a month school group. I helped a nonprofit make $16,000 in 1 week. This just happened like 3 weeks ago. I made $100,000 in 90 days, and then I helped bring 2,400 people or so in a couple of weeks to this group. Like I know what I'm talking about, and I know that this is something that can be repeated because I do this from the dirt, right? I started over and over again from scratch. So the VIP day is a game changer. So if you think about what we talked about before, where we said, okay, well, I'm going to do one of these and just go in on it, or I'm going to mix and match. What is one of these three that you could do? Now, there are other ways. Here's the cool thing. There are other ways to do it. I don't just teach these three ways. I teach a multitude of ways. And that $10,000 product that you're going to get for free, I'm going to tell you about right now. All you have to do, so it's two parts. One is a 5-hour course that is probably a $2,000 to $5,000 course on its own. And then the other part of it, the other half of it, is a custom GPT that I have created for the course. And I'm going to show you in a little bit what people are saying about both. You're going to get that. All you have to do, well, first let me show you what they're saying about both. Okay. We go down here. So this actually is a post 2 days ago about my free 5-hour, $1 million business, one person business course. And it has 121 comments. So I'm going to go here and I'll show you what Tracy said. She says, take a look at this. She says, I'm only 1 hour in and I've already got an idea for a digital workshop and a low ticket done for you offer that I can implement this week. Awesome training. And so many people are going crazy about it. Look at all this. People are going crazy. I'm so grateful to be part of this community. Thank you. I'm looking forward to working on my school page right now. I just watched a little bit. I'm working my way through your first 5K. Now, let me go up here. I'll show you right now. So Iffy says, phenomenal. I just watched the whole 5 hours in one sitting. It's gripping, jam-packed with actionable information. I learned a strategy I can implement this week. The free book for the shipping funnel. Like I give you all the sauce in this course. Like you'll never have to watch another course after you watch this one, okay? I learned a strategy I can implement this week. I published my book last month. I have 2 offers from the 5-day challenge, which is something else I teach. And that was just one of the things I took away. Thank you, Arlan. I have been in your first 5K since May, and my productivity has tripled. I'm closing in on my goals in ways I never have before, and I am self-described goal-setting fool. The sky's the limit. That's how I'm feeling. That's how people are feeling. Look at this. Wow, wow, wow. Exciting, awesome, irresistible offer. Thanks so much. I'm watching it. People have been like devouring this. And you don't have to watch all 5 hours at once, of course. You could watch 30 to 60 minutes at a time, take notes, implement what you learn, come back and do more. That's what I would suggest. And the real sauce is that custom GPT that is in the description of that video and this one. That custom GPT, if you watch the course and you use that custom GPT, it's a wrap, okay? It's a wrap. Now, I want to keep showing you and keep providing you with this free value. I talked about Stand Store, how I got $100,000 in 90 days on Stand Store. One of the things that I do is I have booked calls, a one-on-one. So everything that I'm teaching you, these 3 things, the things that are in my course, everything I've done myself. So the one-on-one calls right now, you see it's $2,000, right? To have a 30-minute call with me or 45-minute call. This should be 30, but whatever. We'll keep it at 45. I'll live with that. To have a call with me. But just imagine what your number is. Put 97 there, put 300, put whatever number makes sense for you. You can start it low. Here's what some people don't realize, the stand store. And take a look at this dashboard here. What some people don't realize is that they don't have to have the same amount of money that they charge somebody forever. A great way to start, a really great way to start, a big hack is just to start and do one for free or do five for free. Learn how to do it. Learn how, you're offering it for free. You're saying, hey, I'm going to do, like, you get in touch with someone. You don't have an audience, right? You get in touch with a couple of friends. You get in touch with a couple of people you've worked with or you met recently. You get in touch with people who are on your Instagram. You put up a post. You say, look, I'm going to have 3 free calls where I'm going to walk you through your own, we're going to do your own roadmap to help you learn how to speak Spanish in 30 days. I'm going to give you the full roadmap after talking to you about why you want to learn Spanish and getting to know you better on this 30-minute call. Going to have a free call. You have people sign up to it, 3 people, let's say. You have the calls. You learn from the calls. You watch the replay of the calls to understand where different things happen and study them. Then you're like, I know by the 3rd call, I was on a roll. So now I know I can really provide value. It's awesome. I feel more confident now. Then you charge $97 for it. So then you do 3 of those, get 3 of those booked, get 10 of those, 20 of those booked. Then you say, you know what? Let me see what it would be like to charge $197. See if people would still buy it. If it slows everything down, like if it goes by half, if only half the people buy it that bought the 97 in that same time period, that's actually a good thing. In a lot of cases, it's not the only way, but one way to think of that is I do less work for the same amount of money. So it's okay that it's less effective. You might say, oh, by a different token, you might say, having those calls, every time I had those calls, 1 out of 3 turned into them joining my paid membership or turned into them getting on a coaching contract with me. So I want to have more calls than that. And what I also noticed, and again, this is just an example of what you could sort of the things you could figure out. What I also noticed is when I had free calls, those did not lead anywhere. Those actually were just conversations. And so the sweet spot is that $97 call. So I'll have as many of those as possible so I can have more of them. And then they turn into something. These are the types of things you might learn. You might learn the opposite of that, but the whole point of it is to experiment and learn it. So if you say, oh, I don't have any followers, I don't have anybody, everybody has somebody in their phone. Everybody has access to Instagram, to LinkedIn, Substack, YouTube. And if you don't have any, you're starting from complete scratch, you have 0 people, start one of those. Go start an Instagram page and start providing value on that page. Because if you want your circumstances to change, you have to change your outputs. If you want, you have to change your inputs. You have to change what you do if you want your circumstances to be different. I know when I was homeless, sleeping on the floor of an airport 10 years ago, I worked my ass off because I wasn't going to just let that sit there. And it was just it wasn't working. It wasn't working. And then something clicked. What clicked? Well, I had already put myself in the mindset of I'm going to do this. This is going to happen. I refuse to be in these circumstances any longer. And then I didn't have control over how long that would take. So I had the patience and I had the fortitude to keep going. I was scared, I was lonely, and I was heartbroken by the whole thing, but I kept going. And I knew that I couldn't stay doing the things that hadn't worked for me. Let me know in the comments if this is making sense to you, because I need to know if you're here with me. I need to know that if every time I make a video like this, it's actually meaning something to you. Let me know. If you haven't subscribed yet, that is huge. Like more than 80% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, but they'll come back and watch the videos over and over again. Subscribe. That's a simple thing to do to show me that you're really here for it. Now, I want to give you a little bit of a bonus. Even though I just gave you a $10,000 product for free, So hopefully you're going to go over there, watch the video, go to the GPT, tell your friends about it. That's just, I want the 5 hour course to get like 1 million views over like a year. So that's what we're aiming for. But I also want to give you another bonus, which is yesterday, I hosted a call with a man named Andrew Kirby. And Andrew Kirby is, if you know what School is, he is the first person to ever have a School account. And he's been working with Sam Ovens, the founder, since day one. So he is all in. He's from England, but he lives in Los Angeles. He's all in. And he has also made millions of dollars on his own from his own info products. And he's also taught hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, if not thousands, how to do the same. And so we had him for our mastermind. And our mastermind is when you can get access to it, but it's really mostly for inner circle members who are in my inner circle, pay me thousands of dollars a year. Almost every week we have a new expert come in who's in my ecosystem, who I just text and I say, hey, can you come through and talk to us, pour into us? So he came through, and we had Sam Ovens the week before, but he came through and he just dropped just gem after gem after gem. So what I wanted to do as a bonus for you, for to thank you for um, just watching this video, for subscribing, is I'm going to give you some of the notes from the replay. So not only do we do this, but I do these notes, and I have like 3 files that I posted. So take a look at this on your screen here. This is from just one day ago, Andrew Kirby's mastermind. If you go to arlansmastermind.com, that gives you some insight to it. There's also another page. I think I'll put it in the link just in case you're interested. But this, like, the inner circle members, mastermind members are getting this. They have 3 of these files. I'm going to show you part of one of them, because even part of one of them, based on that 90 minutes we had yesterday, is fire. So the first thing he was talking about, this was about School. And just think, hey, it's not separate from what we're talking about in this video, because you could actually house everything on School if you really wanted to, or have it on School and have a little bit of Stan. That's what I do. So the first thing he says is to start with a free School group. So use it to test your idea, build trust, and listen to what your audience wants. Especially if you're starting from scratch, or if you've already sold something, it's even better because you know your frameworks, you know what people like. You just need more of them, right? Deliver value consistently before asking for a sale. This is how he's doing it. So this is not the fast track we're talking about. I think the fast track is those $97 calls, or booking or doing a digital product. And in some cases, it's booking a VIP day. I've seen that work really fast. But if you want to do, like, for sustainability, a free School group gets you going, right? Then his next step in this 3-step process is to then sell a premium annual offer on School. So you have an annual School. You don't sell the monthly version. This is his framework and his suggestion. And you price it at $1,000 plus per year. So you avoid monthly pricing in the early stages, is what he's saying. And then annual pricing builds commitment and allows you to focus on delivery. If you have 10 people paying you $1,000 in the first month, you're going to have a lot of resources and a lot of time to really make that an awesome School. And you're going to be able to have time to figure out how to keep doing that each month. Then he says, use the rule of 100 for traffic. So this is what Andrew and Hormozy taught 100 people during a cohort, like a special cohort last year. And this is one of those things. So you're getting that right now for free. Like, they went through this whole thing for days and days and days and weeks. So he's saying to take 100 daily actions in any of these 4 categories: warm outreach, cold outreach, content, or ads. And when it comes to content, what he means is 100 minutes that you spend researching, developing, filming, and editing a video, for instance. Or maybe you use 50 minutes for the content, and you take the 50 cold outreach. So he doesn't mean minutes when he says outreach. He's saying actually DMs, sending messages to 50 people or 100 people, right? But you do 100 total per day. And then the ads, what he means by 100 is $100. So let's say you wanted to do just one of these. You would do 100 warm outreach messages per day. That's a lot. You do it in a sprint. You don't do it all year. You do it in like a sprint, right? You do 100 cold outreach, or you do 100 minutes of content, which is what I do every day, pretty much, or you do $100 in ads. Let's say you wanted to split it up. You could do 25 of each. Does that make sense? It's really, really interesting. If you stayed this long for the into the video, I think you're getting like this advanced stuff that we talk about behind the scenes with people who are doing 6, 7, 8 figures, and even 10 figures is what we did with Sam yesterday, or 10-figure company, I should say. Now, this is from his synthesizer framework. So he defines this is like stopped everybody in their tracks yesterday when he said this. Take a look at this on the screen. Kirby defines a synthesizer as someone who learns from people ahead of them and teaches people behind them. They solve their own problems and share the solution. How cool is that? So he has a synthesizer framework. So his thing is post weekly in your school or social media about something you've recently learned and applied. That's page 1 of several pages of this one document, right? Then he talks about the free to pay thing. He talks about the 4 common growth blockers that he found is that most school owners are held back by, and you don't even have to say school owners, it could be anything that you're doing. Weak offer and pricing, or poor funnels, or ineffective sales systems, or lack of traffic, or a combination. So he wants you to audit your current setup and think about what your weakest link is. Let me know in the comments if you're going to do this. First of all, you can look at this and pause it and then maybe take a picture of it. And second of all, can you look at your setup and say which one of these? And if it's all 4, then that's where you have my 5-hour course for free and my GPT that'll help you with each and every one of these. You could even type this into my GPT and say, I have a weak offer and pricing, poor funnels, an effective sales system, and lack of traffic. This is what I do. How can you help me? And it'll tell you step by step in my GPT what to do. And you can get that in the link below and in the 5-hour course. Let me know if this is valuable for you, this video. Then there's this winning sales funnel that he teaches, right? So you don't have to do all of these things. Like I'm teaching you so much right now. You don't have to do all these things. You just choose one of them. But you know that there are other things that if that doesn't work for you after a month or 2, you can try this other thing. Or you can just stick with this one thing for a year and make $1 million. No guarantee, but that's what I have done multiple times. So he's saying to go premium early. That's what his advice is to stop second guessing yourself. Raise your prices. If you don't have prices, start off with high prices. And if you do, do that. Because if you're giving value, listen, people want to pay for the implementation. They want to pay for the proximity to you. They can get the information on YouTube. You can probably search anything your heart desires on YouTube because it's the 2nd largest search engine in the world. Search something right now. You find it. But they don't have you. They don't have you walking them through it. They don't have your experience. They don't have your take, listening to them for 60 to 70% of the phone conversation that'll help them. And if you want to understand how to get traffic, if you want to understand how to sell once you have that traffic, you understand how to deliver on what you sell, I teach all of that in that 5-hour course. Again, that is linked below. Also, you can get it just by clicking on my name. So you go to my YouTube channel and you'll see the 5-hour course. Let me know if this has been valuable for you. And let me just say, you can do this. Come from a place of strength, come from a place of calm. If you have so many things, if you're like, oh, this video just gave me so many things to think about, it's just adding to my plate. It's that I want you to go back and watch it again. And this time, now that you know what it's about, go back, watch this video again. This time, choose one thing. Say, I'm going to do that one thing. I'm just going to try it for a sprint. I'm going to do it for 2 weeks. I'm going to try. I'm just going to try it. If it didn't work, I can try something new. That's where you come from. And then you have those tools you need. It's very exciting to work with you. I'm very excited about what you're going to do. And you make me happy. So let's keep it going.